Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. The Most High, the Hidden Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Mosai, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Sharapos Christos, not Yeshua, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shai. So we got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rekah Korash. Give honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone, real well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, really accepted or not. And the sincere say, taste and tolerate the ark, pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. Shalom to the ark, while listening, learning. If your sisters are listening, learning. So I title this lesson, you shall know them by the devilish tactics. Talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Now the scriptures talk about a nation of people that will play out devilish acts on the earth, who will do things that the spiritual demon Satan would do. So the Lord makes it clear. The Lord give us distinctions and specifics on who would side with the devil and who would act out the ways of the devil or the spiritual demon Satan. Now, first, the word devilish on Google,
Devilish.
it's a like or appropriate to a devil in evil and cruelty, right? Similar words say wicked, evil, accursed, sinful, vile, abominable. It got atrocious, monstrous, right? But they say wicked, evil, cruelty. When you go to, let me get this real quick. In Ephesians 6, in the blue letter, it mentions the word cruelty. So this is Ephesians 6. In verse 11, it reads, put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. This word wiles here,
Strong's G 3180. Methodiah.
so it's a cunning arts, deceit, craft, trickery. So let me get it here. And the Lord say, how are the things that Esau searched out? How was his hidden things sought up? Before the internet was created, how did you find out about the things that the so-called white man was doing in the earth? You had to read it in newspapers because it wasn't the internet, right? So the word wiles on Google.
Wile.
It got tricks, schemes, gambits, devices, maneuvers, guile, cunning. Now, with these banks, if you have, let's say you got 300,000, let's say you got 500,000 in these banks, right? And something happened. They say they only cover 250,000 of your money is covered, right? What happened to the rest of your money? You heard what Biden said the other day? He said the people know this is called capitalism. The people know if you got more than 250 in these banks and you lose, let's say you got 300,000 or 500. So you lose, they cover you for 250, but you lose the rest of your money. Where the rest of that money go at? Biden said if you are an investor, you know how money works. So you lose, you gain some, you lose some. Solomon never lost money. King David never lost money. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob never lost money, man. What are they talking about? These the Lord said you shall know them by their works, man. So you lose the rest of your they cover you for 250, but you lose the rest of your money. Where that money go at? Because it's not lost. It's in somebody's pocket, man. It's in somebody's bank account, man. Okay? But that's part of the Ponzi scheme, man. I want to play this video. This is another, it's like 8 minutes. This is I just saw this today. This guy going into this with this guy Peter Schiff. Listen to this, man. Let me get these precepts because we dealing with and this guy that Elder Monat Lazakba did a video on the other day talking about he talking about the devil ain't a so-called white man. Well, who is it? I was watching Elder Yashua Woman video last night. He pulled up this article called End of Times Prophecy. You know, in the article they showing the article is called Our Dying Planet, which I'm going to show. It's showing how the bees die, the birds, the bees, right? The whales, the dolphins, the fish, the animals, the trees. Hundreds of thousands of trees in Hawaii dying off, and this happening all over the globe, man. Why is this? The so-called Chinese and Japanese ain't doing this, man. The so-called so-called Africans, the Hamite nations, them four tribes of Ham, the Arabs, these Elamites, they ain't doing this, man. Japhet, Japhet, the tribes of Japhet ain't doing this, man. Let me play this clip. You got slow-bellied guys out here, man. Slow-bellied people. This guy gonna say the so-called white man ain't the devil, man. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Let me get this. When you go to Entomology Online, now look at the word devilish, right? When you go to Entomology Online, right? Because it tell you in 2 Thessalonians 9, they will side with the devil. They would side with Satan. They would do Satan's work. So real quick on Entomology Online, before I play this, because this is important, man. The Lord have given us the distinctions and the specifics of the nation that's going to side with the spiritual demon Satan, man. And it's through their actions. So as Google said, 243 years in rulership, 222 of them has been in war. Let's get this word devil real quick. So this is devil from Entomology Online. Say old English. It got a devil, subordinate, evil spirits afflicting humans. It's a also in Christian theology, the devil, a powerful spirit of evil, otherwise known as Satan. It's a diabolos, which that's a Greek word for devil, diabolos. It's a it got Christian use was the devil Satan, in which is generally used meant accuser, slanderer, right? So he's an accuser, he's a slanderer, right? He's a deceiver. Because Eve said what? That he beguiled me, right? Let's go to this. When you use the blue letter, go to 2 Thessalonians 2. Another point I want to make. There's people that's ruling the earth. Okay, they sitting in the seat of Satan, man. and they control all the resources. Because when you read in Ephesians 2 and 1, matter of fact, let's read this. Let's read it right now. It's Ephesians 2 and 1. And you have he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world. Who controlled this world? The so-called white man. Okay, you got to go to his schools through his system. You got to follow their policies. You got to follow their legislations, their democracy, their philosophy, their draconian measures. You got to follow their religion. Okay? It say, wherever in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. So what's this prince of the power of the air that work in those that are disobedient? Those evil spirits, right? Among whom also we all had our conversation in time past in lust of the flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. So it said the prince of the power of the air, right? What air? Let's look this up. Let me see what it say. Who controls everything? It say the air, particularly the lower and denser air, as distinguished from the higher and rare air, the atmospheric region. Who controlled the atmospheric region? The so-called white man. Okay? This is the prince of the power of the air, man. He controls all things. Okay, from space to the earth. This is their kingdom. Okay, another heaven, man. This is their rulership. So in Second Thessalonians, let's get this. Who's the prince of the power of the air? The spiritual demon Satan, man, the so-called white man. His kids. The spiritual demon Satan has physical counterparts on earth that plays out his cruelty, as it said for the word devilish. So this Second Thessalonians 2 and 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that they should not come except they come a falling away first, and that men of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So the Lord said, this guy, whoever this nation is that side with Satan, is going to be revealed. It said, who opposed of it exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know that withholdeth, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. The Lord said, you shall know them by their fruits. If it's a righteous man that's teaching sound doctrine, that's following the ways of Yahweh Shema Shah, okay, 100%, crossing the T's and dotting the I's, they say, you will know him by his fruit. That's not talking about how many people's in his camp, how many subscribers he got, talking about what he's teaching, his walk. And though you don't see a person through that weekly walk, you will know a man by his countenance. The scripture say you will know a man by his countenance. So eventually, if a guy's playing a role of teaching sound, he following the ways of Yahweh Shema Shah through the apostles and the bishops and elders, eventually he's gonna be exposed. You're gonna see what kind of fruit he producing, man. So this say, verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So the Lord is letting them do this because this is their portion in his life. Verse 8 reads, and then shall the wicked be revealed, and the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So these men of the Lord, destroying the devil through the words of the Lord, right? And then Yahweh shall gonna come and finish him off. But that kingdom is falling now through the words of Yahweh. Isaiah 55 and 11. Verse 9 reads, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they may be saved. Now I say, even him whose coming is after working of Satan. So this translation say, NLT, This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. See, it said this man will come, right? Let's go back. NIV say the coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of display of power through signs and wonders that serve the lie. It said the coming of the lawless one. When you go to Isaiah 24:5, what it say? He transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So-called white man did that. Okay? It said, even him. It said, this man, again, the NLT, this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. Now, when you go back to this word, it said, even him whose covenant is after working of Satan. Let's look this up real quick.
Strong's G 4567. Satanas. Satanas.
It said adversary.
Thayer's lexicon. Satan. Satan.
It say one who opposeth another in purpose or act. It say the prince of evil spirits. It say the inveterate adversary of God and Hamashiach. He incites apostasy from God into sin. It say circumvent men by his wiles. Ephesians 6:11. The wiles of the devil. His trickery, cunning arts, conniving. It say a Satan-like man. Right? Accuser, devil. So it said this man shall come, this man of lawlessness would follow the works of the spiritual demon Satan. In Isaiah 14, it said a man of sin shall be revealed, the son of perdition. Right? In Isaiah 14, when you read this chapter, starting at verse 4, talking about the king of Babylon. So in Isaiah 14, it reads, verse 16, it say, they that see thee shall never look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Who is this man that made the earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms? How did the so-called white man make the earth to tremble? With Fat Man and Little Boy. Okay? Dropping these atomic bombs on Fat Man, with Fat Man and Little Boy on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Okay? He dropped bombs on Bosnia, Yugoslavia. You can go look it up. It say, this is the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms. Their armies, man, their military power, man. Okay? That's making the earth to tremble. That's why I say in Revelation 13, where people say, who is able to make war with the beast, man? This is the power that he has. So let's play this. Because these devils is using Ponzi scheme to take your money, man. So they covering $250,000 of your money. But if you got another $500,000, $600,000 in these banks, they're only going to cover $250,000. The rest of your money is just lost. Well, it ain't lost. It's going into the pockets of these elites, man. The money is not lost, man. And this is how the rich stay rich, because they hitting you off the top, like I said, like I said in Job 24, as you cut off the tops of the ears of corn. So that cover you. You got 800,000 in these banks. They cover you for 250,000, but the rest is gone. And Biden said, if anybody dealing with investments, you know this is a part of the game. You lose some and you win. Check this out, man.
Next guest, Peter Schiff, is a chief economist and global strategist and founder of SchiffGold.com. He tweeted about this whole situation earlier. Take a look. UBS is buying Credit Suisse with a government backstop against losses in an emergency rescue. Credit Suisse is a victim of the SNB's negative interest rate policy, and the Swiss will end up picking up the tab with higher inflation. But don't feel bad for the Swiss, folks, because Peter says inflation is going to get much higher here in the U.S. Oh, great. Thanks, Peter. Peter, welcome back to the program. So let me go back to Senator Warren's comment on Face the Nation. Was it entirely deregulation, according to her, that caused Silicon Valley Bank and these other Signature to go belly up? Because I'm not buying that. That's the left's claim every time. Go ahead, Peter.
Well, the deregulation exists in the fantasy of her mind only. The problem with banking is that it's one of the most heavily regulated industries we have. It would be much safer if it was regulated by free market forces instead of government. It's government guaranteed bank accounts that are the reason that banks are so risk taking, because the customers don't care, because the government has already agreed to guarantee their accounts. But you mentioned earlier that we have record high credit card debt and the banks are failing. It's not a coincidence that both the borrowers and the lenders are broke. The reason for that is the Fed. The Fed kept interest rates artificially low for more than a decade, encouraging people to go deeper and deeper into debt and banks to extend them the credit. And now that they're forced to raise interest rates, something that was always going to happen, they have created another financial crisis, which is something I've been warning about for years. And the media is reluctant to call this a financial crisis. They keep saying it's a banking crisis. The financial crisis of 2008 was a banking crisis. Nobody wants to say what it is because they don't want to invoke memories and comparison to 2008. But this is a sequel to 2008. And like all sequels, this one's going to be worse.
Recordings just got better. It's that recording.
I knew you were going to say that, and it's not exciting news to hear you say, Peter. I'm like, how do I respond to that? Yikes! But this is where we're headed, and I don't understand why the media is being complicit. Don't they want to investigate and look into this and see the root causes and let the American people know? Be ready. This is going to get bad. So at the beginning, Peter, when I said what I said, let me ask you. I've heard some other financial experts say this will be worse later this year than 2008 when these banks start collapsing. Are they being the boogeyman, or are they right?
Well, of course. Well, first of all, the reason we had a financial crisis in 2008 was because from 2002 through 2005-ish, the Federal Reserve held interest rates at 1%, and that gave birth to the adjustable rate mortgages, zero doc loans, nothing down. In that era of cheap money, we inflated a housing bubble, and a lot of these real estate loans, predictably, and I predicted that, went bad when the Fed eventually normalized rates, and they got them back up around 5%. And then we had a financial crisis, but the government cut it short with QE and 0% interest rates. But now we've had 0% rates for more than a decade. The Fed has made far more monetary policy mistakes since the 2008 financial crisis than prior. And so it has inflated a much bigger credit bubble. Now the banks are in far worse shape than they were in 2008, especially the two big to fail banks that we bailed out and are now much bigger than they were back then and even more insolvent. So as a result of what the Fed has done after the 2008 financial crisis, this new financial crisis that just got started will be much worse. And my fear, which is already being validated by last week's balance sheet, is that this crisis is going to be so bad that the Fed is going to pull out the stops and print as much money as possible to bail everybody out. And then the inflation that we saw in 2021 and 2022 is just the tip of a huge iceberg. And we're going to be looking at double-digit annual inflation rates really as far as the eye can see.
Wow. Okay, Peter is full of great news, folks. Just kidding. We got to have the truth here. That's the whole thing. I'm tired of watching the mainstream networks glaze over this crap, because I heard one of them today, CBS it might have been, even say, oh, financial crisis woes are beginning to settle in the banking industry today or this week. They are? I mean, there's lying to the American people. Let me ask you something about the bailout. So FDIC secures up to $250. That's it. President Biden came out. Oh, sorry, I don't say that. Mr. Biden came out and said they're going to back up everybody from Silicon Valley that lost money. Well, 97% of those accounts had more than $250. Now, I get that the $250 comes from insurance paid by the banks ahead of time. So it's not my money, the taxpayers. Who's going to pay? If Congress is bailing out the accounts over, are the banks coming up with it? They don't have it. So it's our money, isn't it?
Well, first of all, the banks haven't paid enough into the FDIC because they only have 100 billion. We have 18 trillion worth of deposits. And you know where that 100 billion is? It's already been loaned to the US government because it's sitting in US treasuries. So they'd have to sell the treasuries in order to bail out the banks, but there's not enough cash there because the banks haven't paid enough. And by the way, in 2008, the insured deposit limit was only 100,000.
Right,
it was raised to 250, but we shouldn't even have the FDIC. It was created by Roosevelt during the New Deal in the 1930s. It was an overreaction to the Great Depression. You know, without any government insurance, with all the bank failures during the 1930s, only about 2% of the deposits was lost. The banking system was much sounder before we had an FDIC than it is now, because back then banks had an incentive to be responsible because their customers held them accountable. But now there is no accountability
because we're giving them parachutes.
Nobody does any research. Does anybody care what the banks do with their money once they're deposited? No. And even the large investors or depositors, the people that had millions and millions of dollars at Silicon Valley Bank, didn't give a crap what the bank did with their money because they were pretty sure that if anything went wrong, the government would bail them out. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Final question to you then. We've heard there's bipartisan talks now in the House and the Senate. You got lawmakers on both sides of the aisle saying, let's raise the FDIC again above 250. I already know what you're going to say, but bad call or smart call?
No, of course it's a bad call. It's doubling down on a bad policy. It's just going to create a bigger moral hazard, but they're trying to undo the damage from the moral hazard they created by bailing out some banks and leaving the impression that others might be vulnerable. Now they've created a run on solvent banks as people rush to put their money into insolvent banks. But of course, where is the government going to get the money? If they magically insure more bank deposits, that's just another unfunded liability that has to be piled on top of a massive unfunded debt on top of the funded debt that is unpayable already. So it's all going to be inflated away. That's what people have to worry about, that everybody's bank account is at risk because inflation is going to destroy the purchasing power of your money. It doesn't matter if your bank fails because the money that you've deposited in the bank, that's going to fail.
Folks, there's a reason we call it this show, Real America, and that's why we bring guests on that keep it real. I'm sorry for the bad news on a Tuesday to all the viewers, but this is why we enjoy Peter's company, because he just gives it to you straight up like it is. So I don't know, start burying it out back or putting it under the mattress. Peter should, or buy gold, Peter always says,
paper,
right?
Gold. You got to get gold. Don't bury your paper.
Buy gold. You know what I say? Buy ammo. Anyway, Peter, thank you so much. Appreciate
Protect your gold.
Well, ammo will be
And
worth what gold's worth, depending on how bad this gets. Let's be real. Anyway, I got to run. Peter, thank you.
Hey, that Edomite said, get ammo, man. Because this is where we're going, man. We're going to sedition, man. Sedition, insurrection, man. So I'm gonna pull this up. Hey, that Edomite said, man, just buy ammo, man. Because it's gonna get real out here, man. They playing with people's livelihoods, man. And this is an article that Elder Yashwamba was going into last night. There's a lot on here, man. On this page, it's a lot on here, man. Mass bees die off. We got about the trees, 100,000 of trees. Let me just show some of it. He mentioned last night, Elder Yashwamba said a third of the butterflies have died off during past 2 decades. Humpback whales sighted in Hawaii, unprecedented 50 to 80% reduction in humpback whales. Because again, we never saw none of this, man. Before the internet, how did you hear about certain things that was going on? It was in the newspapers. Or you had some journalists came out with it, and maybe a certain news channel played it. To say Scotland's worst salmon season in living memory. And the salmon's been bred with eel, man. And they say if you're not getting wild Alaskan caught salmon, it ain't real salmon. None of it. They say alarm over decline in flying insects. And Elder Yashwamba's going into how the bats The bats is everything the Lord created was perfect, man. Because the bats eat up certain insects. So they go into just some of the bigger ones on the hit. Right here. Where is deforestation coming from? The so-called white man. Right here it say hundreds of thousands of trees killed by mystery disease in Hawaii. Hundreds of thousands. Thousands of birds mysteriously abandoned Florida Gulf Coast. Scientists baffled. Salmon run in Alaska only at 2% of last year. Salmon disappearing, jellyfish rising. There's a lot on here, man. So, again, it's a catastrophic oil spill threatens rare dolphins in Bangladesh. Millions of ash trees are dying across America. Man, you didn't hear about this before the internet. For these guys talking about, oh, GMS used articles. You didn't hear about this before the World Wide Web. It was either in the newspaper or some journalist found a way to leak it. Well, I'm trying to tell you is the Lord say, how are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? 1,300 bird species facing extinction signal threat to human health. Mass die-off of lobster during the past 15 years in Long Island Sound. Why are they dying off? Because they taking them and putting them in the restaurants, man. And they think these things ain't affecting the eco, man, of the ocean. It's a quarter of Europe's bumblebees vital to crops face extinction. Extinction. We already know this. It's a Minnesota mystery. What's killing the moose? See? Man. And the list goes on and on, man. 70 species of fish in danger of extinction in the Ukraine. Wonder why? All that radiation over there from the missiles, man. And you know when they shoot these missiles off, these are rockets. What's the pieces that fall back into the ocean, man? It's full of chemicals, man. Mystery mass whale deaths in Argentina. And the Lord said he's going to take away in Hosea 4 and Zephaniah 1 and 2. He's going to take away the beasts of the field, the fowls of air, and the fish. And on this article, it's showing about the fish, the birds, and everything, man. 300 million tons of waste in the Mediterranean Sea. Mutton birds are dying in their thousands nearly every year and much more frequently than ever before. See, the Lord doing this, man. But who's in control of this? Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Moose die off across North America, alarms scientists. Killer tree fungus out of control and impossible to stop in the United Kingdom. One 162 worldwide coastal dead zones in the 1980s. Now there are over 400 and rising sharply. Dead zones, worldwide coastal dead zones. So let's get these precepts, man. Because these devils, man, is something else we want to deal with. The Lord say they shall be revealed in that time. Let me go back up on top of this. Dealing with this money system. Before social media, none of these things were revealed. You had to read about it. You had to read about it in the newspaper, or it was reported, right? Some journalists, brought it out. Certain news channel played it, but we didn't hear about none of this before the World Wide Web. You had to go read about it in the libraries, in the newspaper. So this is the Lord showing us the unicorn was created for a reason, man. It was to wake up the elect. To wake up the elect and to expose everything that goes on. Let's get this. So let me just pull this up real quick. In Obadiah 1:6. It reads, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? How are they searched out and sought up? The Lord made them bare, man. See, again, before the unicorn, the World Wide Web, these devils' wickedness was in secret. And if you wasn't reading the newspaper, we didn't hear about it, man. Well, the Lord said he made them bare through the unicorn, through the World Wide Web, man. Again, Obadiah 1:6. Let me pull this up. It reads again. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Through the unicorn, man. The Lord had these devils to create the unicorn to make them bare, man. This is Luke 8:17. And these people losing their money, man. This Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. See, these things the Lord already had it set, man. That's why I said in 2 Thessalonians 2 that he shall be revealed in his time. Deforestation. The animals is dying off, man. And the Lord is using the so-called white man to do this. Now, let me get this. In Isaiah 24, it reads this. Dealing with these people and their money, man. Everybody trusting the government. Isaiah 36:6. They leaning on the Edomites, man, their system. Well, you trusting in it so much. You know, you got these people, you got, elder folk that walk around with canes. Some of them even have a whole walker, right? They are leaning on that because it's supporting them, man. When you lean on something, that's you trusting, that's your support. So what happens when your support start to crumble piece by piece? It says Isaiah 24:1, behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste and turneth it upside down. Who's the Lord using to turn the earth upside down? The so-called white man. We're gonna get Isaiah 29:16. Behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste and turneth it upside down and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. See, the people, everybody that's falling, they're going to fall together, man. Like I said in Isaiah 13:15, because they trust in oppression. Was that Isaiah 13, Isaiah 30:20? No, Isaiah 30:12. They trust in oppression, man. So as with the borrower, so with the lender. As with the mistress, right? As with the maid, so with the mistress. This is Proverbs 20:27. As with the giver of usury, so with the taker of usury. This is Proverbs 20:27. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. See, he that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. These devils is through usury, unjust gains, man. Oh, what is that? Is that Proverbs 28? Let me see. These devils is something else, man. Well, the Lord set them up, man. Do this. The only one's gonna wake up from this is the hopeful elect, man. Proverbs 28:8 reads, He that by usury and unjust gain increases his substance. So they taking your money, telling you they can give you 250,000 back, but the rest of it is gone. It's lost. It ain't lost. It's in their damn accounts, man. They don't pocket your money by creating a crash, man. These devils is real tactical, man. They surgical. They say, He that by usury and unjust gain increase his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. So everything they doing is in vain, man. Because they doing this to be taken away, man, and given to those of the hopeful elect. So it said, let me get this in Isaiah 5. The Lord said in Isaiah 24 that he turned the earth upside down, he making it empty. Well, the so-called white man is doing it. The Lord is using these devils to do that. And remember, everything is done for Israel's sake, man. The Lord made the world for Israel's sake, man. And he said in Isaiah, in Luke, in Leviticus 26:33, that he will scatter us among the heathen nations, and he will send a sword after us, man. Well, this is a part of the sword, taking the food away. Isaiah 3:1, the Lord said he's going to take away our comfort, man. He's going to take away all the comfort, the stay in the stale, the whole stale bread, and the whole stale water. And on top of the Lord taking the food and water away, he's going to take the truth too. It's going to be a famine of food and water and of the truth, man. It's Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. Now we got transformers running around here, okay, with equal to act rights. These alphabets, man. With equal to act rights, man. That's off. You can just walk into a restaurant and go get you some lobster and crabs and pork and shrimp and not get stoned for it, man. That is madness. You can go sleep with another man's wife and not get stoned for it, man. That is sick, man. Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. This devil has turned everything completely upside down. Well, the Lord said he was going to let them do it. Let's read this again. Isaiah 24:2, it reads, Isaiah 24:1, Behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. Isaiah 29. This is by the same way Esau Edom is crashing these banks by design. Yahweh by Shem Yahushua got these devils turning up the earth, turning everything upside down by design, man, to shake up everything. Because this is the sifting. Everything is sifting the hopeful elect, man. Isaiah 29:16, it reads, Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. See, the Lord made these devils to do this. For shall the work say of him that made him, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say to him that framed it, he have no understanding? Let's get one more here. In Isaiah 45. See, this is the beauty of understanding the Lord's judgment. That the Lord did this, man. The Lord is doing this. It had nothing to do with the so-called white man. They just a tool that Yahweh Shema Shah took out the toolbox, cleaned them up, oiled them up, used them, and afterward gonna put them back in the toolbox and throw the whole toolbox in the fire, man. Isaiah 45:9 it reads, Woe to him that striveth with his maker. Let the plowshare strive with the plowshares of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, what makest thou? Or thy work, he have no understanding. The Lord is doing this, man. He got the devil, the so-called white man. Devil meaning accuser, slanderer, right? Also deceiver. In Psalms, the word devil again mean to be a accuser or a slanderer, right? In Psalm 50, Psalm 50, in verse 20, it reads this. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thy own mother's son. Who is this? Esau slandering Jacob, man. There's one in Sirach 51. Let me read it. Oh, and there's a quote. If you go to Google, the quote say, when a debate is lost, slander become the tool of the loser. The so-called white man is a loser, man. Okay? Hey, in the same way, the so-called white man is a loser. Guess what? All your athletes and rappers and actors, they are all losers. And when you look up constellation prize is given to a loser. So the loser, Esau, even the so-called white man, is giving all our so-called our athletes, and they just court justice. Your athletes and your actors and your comedians, they have all received a consolation prize. That's what you get, a losers, man. So the loser is giving 2/3 of our people losers consolation prizes. Thy citizen speaks against thy brother, thy slanderer thy own mother's son. See, he's a slanderer, man. This is Sirach 51. In verse 2 it reads, for thou art my defender and helper, and has preserved my body from destruction, and from the snare of the slanderous tongue, and from the lips that forge lies, and has been my helper against my adversaries. What did Edomite say on this video? He said that the government is lying to the people. They're supposed to. The people don't want to hear the truth. But what they finna find out is they finna be visited by Yahweh through violence, man. Through violence. You want to believe lies? Okay, well, the Lord's going to visit you with violence, man. Now and these devils is destroying the earth, man. And everybody just going about their day like ain't nothing happening. It's in Jeremiah 51:24 it reads. So we see how the things that Esau searched out, how's his hidden things sought up, man. It said how's his hidden things sought up through the unicorn, through these articles, man, through the World Wide Web. Jeremiah 51:24, and I will render to Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all that evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith Yahweh. Behold, they say in our sight, man, we watching these devils do this. Sitting back, waiting on you. How about you, Shah, man? Again, and I will render to Babylon into all the inhabitants of Chaldea all that evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith Yahweh. Hold on. In our sight, the Lord say, how the things that Esau searched out, how his hidden things sought up. We seeing it. How? We didn't see it before the unicorn came out. How do we see it? We didn't. We read it. Well, seeing, we had to read it through the newspaper, certain media outlets, which they never exposed the truth anyway. That's why you got all these Glenn Becks and Double Sevens and calls for an uprisings and redacteds. Because now these guys, the Lord got them going in hard, but they don't fit through the scripture because that's not their job. Their job is to bring these things out, and our job is to say, you know what, that was already written in the scriptures before. Well, it's done in our sight, man. All these things have been done in our sight. Behold, verse 25, Jeremiah 51:25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain. What destroying mountain? North America, Babylon the Great. And bigger than that, Mount Seir, which is the Edomites. Because that's who control the planet. Okay? And as Elder Yashua was mentioning last night, when you read Job 9:24, when it say he covered the face of the judges thereof, that just don't mean he covered the faces of Yahweh Shah and Yahweh and the angel, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah and King David and Solomon and the Israelites. No, he covered up judgment, man. He covered up judgment. That's why I say, let's get this. He covered up judgment, man. It said the wrong judgment proceedeth. Ain't no right judgment here in Babylon the Great. Because if it was, all these women that commit adultery and all these alphabets, they'll be put to flight, man. Verse 25 again, it said, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks. What rocks? Mount Seir. And will make thee a burnt mountain. Obadiah 1:18. It's Psalms 82:4. See, this devil is exposed. Oh, I got to get this. Let me read this real quick. This is Psalms 82:4. Deliver the poor and needy, which are Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, the hopeful elect. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. One of the words for devilish is said wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. Again, they don't understand. 3 precepts. You got Obadiah, you got Salak, you got Daniel 12:10, Obadiah 1:7, and this verse. Here's 3 precepts to show you the so-called white man don't have no understanding, man. Neither 2/3 of Jake. They know not, because it say deliver the poor and needy from the hand of the wicked. So it's talking about who's in rulership. It say they know not who? The wicked. Those that's in rulership. The elites don't know nothing, man. They carnal. They eat blood, man. Okay? They stay bloody raw, man. They don't have no understanding of nothing, man. Which I'm going to get. They are beasts. They say they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, right? They ain't had no light in the caves, man. That's where the movie Quest for Fire, man. They ain't had no light, man. They walk on in darkness, man. They don't have no eye, don't have no eyesight. They don't got no vision. So they are what? Groping in daylight, man. Just like the Lord happened to us for a point of time. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Why? Because of those that's in rulership. They cover the face of the judges. There is no judgment. There is no righteous judgment that proceedeth, man. Least is coming through their penal codes. They make you swearing on the Bible, then put the Bible behind the podium and they judge you from penal codes, man. That's not righteous judgment. So in Psalms, this is what Aesop said. Let me get this. In Psalms 73. If you read this chapter, this is Aesop talking about these Edomites, man. It say, so this is Psalm 73:22. So foolish was I, and ignorant I was as a beast before thee. Nevertheless, I am continually with thee, that has holding me by my right hand. What that is? That's the righteous. If you holding, if the Lord holding your right hand, this is the righteous side of the Lord, right? Here's the point. Thou shalt guide me with thy counsel. What's counsel? Let's look it up. The Lord gave his law, statutes, and commandments to Israel, man. So we supposed to know judgment. As the scripture say, was that Michael 3:1? It said, "Oh, heads of Jacob, is it not for you to know judgment?" Let's see what this say. The wrong judgment proceedeth, man. Like it. Hold on.
Strong's H 6098. Eitzah. Eitzah.
See, it's a counsel, advice, purpose, prudence, right? Prudence, counsel, advisement, purpose. The truth, man. So the Lord gave this. So let's go back. The Lord gave this to Israel, man. So also, he said, let's read this one. Read this again. Psalm 73 and 22. So foolish was I, and ignorant I was as a beast before thee. Okay, we was. But then the Lord gave us his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The law, statute, and commandments. Because we always beasts. But then the Lord chose a nation of people. When you read this, Sirach 24, wisdom says the Lord told her to go to Israel. So right here, what is that? Right here. And see, now we understand, man. But we didn't until we went into the house of the Lord, man. This Psalm 73 and 17. Until I went into the sanctuary of God, then understand I therein. Should have thou did set them in slippery places, thou castest them down into destruction. That's what the Lord said. Don't envy these devils, man. Because they finna go down. Though it be given them a period of time to rule the earth in wickedness, their kingdom is going to end. And Israel's kingdom will be forever, man. So again, until I went into the sanctuary of power, then understand how that end. Now we in the truth. Now we walking righteously, Lord willing. Now we know what's going on and why it's happening. Now we understand when the Lord said how the things that Esau sought up. How's his hidden things searched out and sought up, man? Because now we into the sanctuary of Yahweh Shem Abashah. Now we understand that end. It's cold, man. This is Ecclesiastes. But he said that he was a beast before the Lord, right? Yeah, let's get this. Ecclesiastes 3:17. Ecclesiastes 3:17, 18, it reads, I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them. See? And this is so you got the sons of the wicked, right? You got the sons of God, which are the Israelite men, 12 tribes. You got the sons of the wicked, which is the Edomites, so-called white people, the men, and the women. And you got the sons of men, which is the 16 heathen nations. Well, this applies to all 17 heathen nations right here. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that power might manifest them. And out of these 17 heathen nations, the Lord had exposed the so-called white man. Through what? The unicorn, the World Wide Web. Again, keep bringing it out. Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things that Esau sought out, searched out, how is his hidden things sought up? Through the unicorn, through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Bashai, establishing these devils, to create the unicorn. 2 Ezra 11:39, it says, the end of that time is going to come through them. The Lord cold, man. The Lord had these devils to create the unicorn to expose them. To do what? Jeremiah 4:10, to make them bear. I said in my heart concerning the state of the sons of men, that God might manifest them. First and foremost, the so-called white man. And that they might see that they themselves are beasts. See? And what Asaph said, I was as a beast before thee. But the Lord grabbed us by the right hand, and you read Ezekiel 16, right? And put a crown on us, right? Decked us out, gave us his wisdom, not understanding, man. Therefore, we are not beasts. It say that, and that they might see that themselves are beasts, for that which befall the sons of men befall of beasts. Everyone, it say, even one thing befalleth them, as the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yeah, that they have all one breath, so that a man have no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. So now we understand why these devils is doing what they are doing, man. And the Lord said the earth shall be weaker through age. This is Revelation. I read Jeremiah 51 and 25, when the Lord said he's going to destroy them who's destroying the earth, right? Revelation 11:18, and the nations were angry, just like it said in Jeremiah 51. And thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. And these heathen nations, here's another word for beasts. These heathen nations are dead, man. 2/3 are dead, man. It said the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged. 2/3 of our people is dead, man. Proverbs 21:16. He that wanteth by the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. These 17 heathen nations are dead. And that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servant the prophets, Israelites, the elect, and to the saints, the elect, and to them that fear thy name, the elect, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Two precepts that the Lord is going to jack these devils up. It said them that destroy the earth, man. Revelation 11:18, Jeremiah 51 and 25. These are the ones the Lord is using to take these things from the earth, man. Hosea 4 and 1. This devil has turned the whole planet upside down, but the Lord is letting him do it. It said only him who letteth will not let in 2 Thessalonians 2. Hosea 4 and 1. Hear the word of Yahweh, ye children of Israel. For Yahweh have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. And these devils could have easily told us who we are, man. It could have easily told us who we are. That's what the Lord said in Isaiah 26 and 10. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet he not learn righteousness. He done ruled the earth 3 times. The Lord gave them favor 3 times to rule the earth. And he could have easily told you that you were the Hebrew Israelites, man. So, again, because there is no truth nor mercy, James 2 and 13. The so-called white man never showed us mercy. And 2/3 of you slow-bellied niggas think the so-called white man gave you mercy because he gave you a job. You dumb niggas, man. The Lord gonna kill all you slow-bellied niggas, man. This devil ain't showed you no mercy, man. That's through the Spirit of the Lord that we have work and we able to get things that we need so we can constantly do these lessons and go out to the highways and hedges, man. This has nothing to do with the so-called white man. The Lord say in Psalm 68:19, my favorite precept, man, he give us daily benefits, man. Again, because there is no truth nor mercy. This slow-bellied Edomite nigga never gave you no mercy, man. You think he give you an extra 30 minutes or buy you every now and then they'll buy you lunch? That ain't showing you no mercy, you slow-bellied niggas. Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of power in the land. They have hid everything from us, man. And they got it. Over there in the Vatican City, they got it, man. All our information. Everything, man. Say by swerving in line and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out in blood touch of blood. Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish. With the beasts of the field, they killing off all the cattle. With the fowls of heaven, they killing off all the birds, your lawful birds you can eat, turkey, chicken, the fish of the sea, they destroying all the lawful fish, also shall be taken away. The Lord doing this, man. He's using this devil to do this. Because in Isaiah 3:1, the Lord said he's taking away the stake and the staff, the whole stale bread, and the whole stale water, man. Jake been around here living comfortable, man. Binge watching shows, eating good, chilling, man. But your ass gonna be a pilgrim real soon. And what you gonna do then if you don't have this wisdom, not understanding, which shall be the stability of our time? What you gonna do then, Jake? This is Zephaniah. I think this is a game, man. And the Lord is showing us it's not a game. It's Zephaniah 1 and 2. It reads, I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith Yahweh. All things, man. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of heaven and the fishes of the sea and the stumbling block with the wicked. And I will cut off man from off the land, saith Yahweh. And we watching this happen, man. This is Joel. These devils is taking the money and the food, man. Lord got these devils taking the food and the money, man. Jake around here finna be killing themselves, just like Esau, man. You know what Esau do, honey? Bring the kids. I got 6 bullets. Hey, that's how they get down, man. They lose their money. They killing everybody in the house. It's Joel 1 and 15. Alas for the day of Yahweh is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. Is not the meat cut off before your eyes? Yeah, joy and gladness from the house of our power. See, he's taking us away. It's a from the house of the Lord, man. What's the house of the Lord? Israel. That's why it's only going to be a remnant left, man. Because 2/3 is good for nothing, man. It said the seed is rotting under the clods. The garners are laid desolate. The barns are broken down, for the corn is withered. How do the beasts groan? And the herds of cattle are perplexed because they have no pastor. Esau destroying all this, man. Destroying the lands, the pastors, and putting these animals into a damn warehouse, man. Yeah, the flocks of sheep are made desolate. The devil doing this, man. So-called white man doing this, man. Yeah, man. In 2nd Ezra, 14 and 16, and it reads, for yet greater evil than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. And it's only going to get worse, man. And these things have to happen. Let me see if I can get this. In 2nd Ezra 5, let me see here. This 2nd Ezra 5 and 42, it reads, and he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring. You know what a ring is? A full, complete circle. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring. Like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first. Let me show you why I read that. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, it reads, the thing that have been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It had been already of old time, which was before us. See? So the Lord said he would liken his judgment unto a ring, man. So everything is turning back around again, full circle. This is Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and power require of that which is past. And we watching these prophecies play out, man. Who took down the Babylonian Empire? The Medo and Persian Empire. Who is the Medo? Who is the Medes and Persians today? Iran and Russia. Guess what? That prophecy is about to play out again, man. Okay, but this time, when the Medes and Persians invade Babylon the Great, it's going to be many, multiple allies just join with them, man. Jeremiah 50 and 9. So we watching the prophecies play out daily, man. And none of this is boring. It shouldn't be. To watch the Lord's prophecies play out, because the Lord say, how? Just read it again. How are these devil things? Let me get it. The Lord exposing these devils, man. We see him watching in real time, man. Hey, before the unicorn, the internet, right? You ain't hear about no G7 summits, man. Right? You ain't hear about that. We ain't know about that, man. And that's what the apostles, hey, all the studying they had to do going to these libraries, right? All that reading. We can just click a button right now. We can go to the search engine and it'll pop right up. Cause I just heard today, early this morning, that the new G7 summit is gonna be in December. How did I hear that? On the World Wide Web. Obadiah 1 and 6. How the things of Esau searched out, how are his hidden things sought up? Well, let's find out how. Jeremiah. Lord, man. Lord, man. This is Jeremiah 49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. See, the Lord did it. And he shall not be able to hide himself. So instead of these devils hiding, now they just saying, hey, we gotta lock up these conspiracy theorists. Biden said if you got a family member that's a part of these radical groups, hey, point him out, man. Where he at? Tell us where he at, man. Now they just come out in the opening telling you, oh, what this guy said at that meeting with this guy, Klaus Schwab. He said you will own nothing and love it, man. That's them telling you right in the opening because they can't say it. They can't say it in secret no more, man. Because the Lord exposed these devils to tell people this how cold the Lord is. These devils telling you that we finna track you, your food, your transportation, your walking. Then they got Jake with these Fitbits, and you slow belly niggas running around here, and these devils know where you going at, how much walking you doing, all this. The Lord got them devils doing that, man. It's all a trick, man. The devil is exposed. So now he got to tell you right in your face, we finna cut off your food supply if you eat too much, or you drink too much, or too much carbon, all these carbon emissions and all this garbage. And what people saying? Nothing. The devil telling you he's the devil in your face. Nobody is in fear. Nobody is worried. Nothing. Because Jake had been conditioned for so long to hear smooth things, man. To hear lies and deceit as if it was truth. But the hopeful elect see the truth for what it is, man. So, Lord was edifying. Gotta give all praise and glory to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushua. Bahashem Rikad Korash. Double honors to the apostles and the bishop and elders of great millstone who work well, who teach well. Whether apostles and elders of all Israel already accepted or not, in a sincere salutation to all the occupant pushing this truth and believing this truth toward the full ends of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. Shalom to the art world who are listening and learning. If you sisters are listening and learning. Hey, listen. Pastor Hart mentioned this from time to time. The Hebrew word is Kodash, not Kodash. It's not Kodash. It's Kodash. You got to start saying it right. I'm just throwing it out there. It's Kodash, not Kodash. It doesn't sound how it's spelled. Kodash, not Kodash. I just want to mention that. So, for your precepts, for tuning in. May Yahweh Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. Lord willing. Stay prayed up. Shalom. Wa Abba.